Hi everybody, and thank you very much for dropping in on this breaking news. God, light makes me look like Frankenstein. It's the light of this I can't really turn it down. So look, I do have some breaking news for you. Thanks for tuning in, and it all involves the meeting that was today that I mentioned the last few days was the big meeting where various departments would meet to discuss what they were going to be doing with COVID-19 arrival procedures in the wake of the news that Chinese travellers were set to return to Thailand from January the 8th. So this is the news, and I have to say that I'm just a little bit shocked. So here it is, as is, that from no specified date, but before January the 8th, which is only 3 days away, travellers will have to show proof of COVID vaccines for all visitors. So if you arrive in Thailand in the next period, I don't know how long this is going to last for, you'll have to show proof of COVID vaccination. That means if you haven't been vaccinated and you've got bookings, say next week, I don't know what you're going to do, because you will have to show proof of at least 2 COVID vaccinations. It doesn't say how far back that goes. I mean, you could have been vaccinated 2 years ago with Sinovac. Does that count? Well, apparently, according to this, it does. Let me read to you from the Bangkok Post. All visitors to Thailand must show proof of at least 2 COVID-19 vaccines until revised rules that coincide with the revival of travel from China. So this was announced late this afternoon. In addition to this, visitors who will be travelling onward from Thailand to a country that requires a negative PCR test result, that would include India, for example, must provide proof of insurance. This will ensure that they can meet the cost of their treatment if their test in Thailand is positive. This was announced by the Public Health Minister, Anutin Charnvirakul, today. So he is basically the author of this particular announcement. And as I say, the announcement I find quite a shock. So simply, and I'll try and go through some more details in just a moment, if you arrive in Thailand after January the 8th, you'll have to show proof of 2 COVID vaccines. That's the central tenet of it. Now, let's just go to another article on Thai PBS World, and it says that 4 measures to be applied to foreign tourists, including those from China, and there's only one that is a must. The others are should. So here we go. And I'm still sort of reeling from this because I was very surprised that they've come up with this. It's really going to upset the apple cart. Now, how many people out there who have got bookings in place aren't vaccinated? Now, I don't know what the number is. I'm guessing it could be 10 to 20%. So what do they do? So, Thai PBS World says that Thailand's Public Health Ministry has adopted 4 measures to be applied to all tourists visiting Thailand, including those from China, after the Chinese government eases travel restrictions on their citizens on January the 8th. Now, today's January the 5th. So it looks like you've got 3 days to get into Thailand before this happens. So here are the measures listed in Thai PBS World. Number 1, and this is the main one, all visitors must have received at least 2 doses of a COVID-19 vaccine before their arrival. Number 2, all visitors should take out health insurance coverage, which includes COVID-19 before their departure for Thailand. That's should. Number 3, all visitors should wear face masks while travelling on public transport in Thailand and in public places, and take rapid antigen tests, that's an ATK test, if they develop COVID-like symptoms. I don't think that's a problem. You can get an ATK test for 20 baht at 7-Eleven. Number 4, visitors should postpone their visits to Thailand if they develop a respiratory disease. So there we go. That is the 4 announcements from the Public Health Department. Number 1, I think, is the main concern. All visitors must have received at least 2 doses of COVID-19 vaccine before their arrival. Now, many people have, and I know I've got my vaccine certificates. They're always in my briefcase, because, well, I don't know. I haven't been asked for them recently, but some people might. Indeed, if you are arriving in Thailand after January the 8th, according to this, you will be asked for the proof of your COVID vaccination. The measures were proposed by a technical subcommittee at the National Communicable Disease Committee, and they were approved today at a joint meeting between the Public Health, Transport, Foreign Affairs and Tourism and Sports Ministries. Also, the BMA, the Bangkok Metropolitan Administration, and the Office of the Insurance Commission. So all these people have got together and come up with this answer. Public Health Minister Anaton Shavadakun, who chaired the meeting, said he's confident that Thailand's fully prepared to cope with the mass arrival of tourists from China and to take care of them. Okay. You are, however, Mr. Shavadakun, sacrificing a lot of other tourists who may have, in good faith, because of the Thai government's opening up, which became fully reopened at the start of November, booked airfares to come here. They may not be vaccinated, either through choice or just because they haven't been able to, for whatever reason. I don't know what that percentage is. As I said, I'm guessing it's maybe 10 to 20%. What do they do? I'm sure there's no line on, and there's no fine print on their insurance that says, oh, just in case the Thai government changed their mind, you can get your money back on your airfare. Anaton assured all foreign tourists, including Chinese, will be treated equally without discrimination. Is that what it's about? Is it about not offending the Chinese? Since the COVID variant spreading in China resemble the variants detected in Thailand, the Public Health Minister said COVID-19 should not be used as a pretext to discriminate against any nationality, including the Chinese, when visiting Thailand. For tourists who want to continue their journey to other countries where tourists are required to be screened for COVID infection, it's recommended that they stay in an SHA Plus hotel. It just gets crazier and crazier, where there are screening services certified by the Thai Medical Science Department. It was only 2 weeks from today, 3 years ago, that the first case of COVID-19 was identified in Thailand, arriving from China. And here we are 3 years later, after going through a great deal of international pain. All these tourism businesses are going broke. People being told by the government that everything's going to reopen. It eventually did. In November, all the restrictions were removed. We've just had a bumper Christmas and New Year. And now the Thai government has imposed this. Just for those people who have just joined us, all visitors must have received at least 2 doses of COVID-19 vaccine before their arrival. This is going to happen on or before January the 8th. So I'm sorry if I can't answer your questions. I don't really have the facilities here to read them. So obviously we'll be getting into this in greater detail tomorrow when I sort of pick myself up off the floor. I'm really shocked that this has happened. Now, there are, of course, a lot of people out there, probably the vast majority, who are vaccinated, and this really won't affect them. They'll say, well, that's okay, I'll just put my certificates in my luggage and off I go to Thailand to have a damn fine time. But there are those people who booked their airfares in good faith who are now going to find that they can't come to Thailand. So it's going to be a very interesting situation. Now, just going back to see if there's any more in that Bangkok Post story, China still requires a negative PCR test result no older than 48 hours prior to arrival for all incoming travellers. India this week imposed a similar mandate for visitors from 5 countries: Thailand, China, including Hong Kong, South Korea, Japan and Singapore. Thailand last October scrapped the requirements of proof of vaccination and ATK test results, as well as compulsory health insurance. However, officials believe that as people are resuming travelling from China in large numbers, the prospect of people in many countries contracting COVID-19 will rise. New measures are necessary, it says, because Thailand is a major destination for travellers from many countries, including China. Look, I'll be really interested to see what you say tomorrow. Maybe we'll do a special live show to try and digest this. And look, there might be some more news tonight. It was only yesterday that the Thai Prime Minister said that there's no way that they're going to be reintroducing restrictions. And I know I have, over the past 3 or 4 days, said I doubt very much whether Thailand's going to reintroduce arrival procedures or restrictions for COVID-19. But they have. When I read this about half an hour ago, I just went, you've got to be joking. There was an F word in there as well. I was really surprised. The principle is there, says the Public Health Minister, that there will not be any discrimination against a particular country because COVID-19 is spreading in all countries and the strains are similar. So COVID-19 should not be an issue of discriminating against any country. Mr. Anerton made the comments following a meeting, and we went through all the ministers that were there earlier. He didn't say when the new measures would take effect, but officials said they would start before the arrival of Chinese visitors. So that's thought to be after January the 8th. The Director General of the Civil Aviation Authority of Thailand said the first scheduled flight from China would arrive at Suvarnabhumi Airport on January the 12th. In the first 3 months of this year, 15 Chinese airlines would operate 15 flights a day to Suvarnabhumi, Chiang Mai and Phuket airports. So they may not introduce this until January the 12th. But it looks like they're certainly going to introduce it between January the 8th and January the 12th. No date has been given. And it says in this article that no specific date has been given. But it appears, be somewhere between today, certainly January the 8th, and before January the 12th. China was by far the country's largest tourist source prior to the pandemic, accounting for more than 11 million of the 40 million international arrivals in 2019. Anyway, I've said enough. You get the gist. The headline in the Bangkok Post, proof of COVID jabs for all visitors revived. Can you see that? It's all a bit bright, I'm sorry. And Thai PBS has actually got a list of the 4 announcements made by the Public Health Minister. Number 1, all visitors must have received at least 2 doses of COVID-19 vaccine before their arrival. So let's digest this over the next 12 hours. Of course, I'll be along tomorrow morning with Tim Newton today, and we'll go through this and see if we can get some additional sources and maybe a few more answers as to exactly why they're doing this. And well, I can just see some of the questions coming up on the very tiny screen here. If people, I can't understand this. If people arrive and they don't have the vaccination certificates, what do they do? I suppose they're going to have to be checked in. So all the airlines are going to have to be advised to make sure they check certificates before people check in. People may not be aware of this. They may just be they may have booked their tickets and they don't read the news and they jump on the aeroplane and, well, they go to the airport and they probably won't be allowed on the plane. So a lot to soak in. So sorry to break into your evening or your morning or wherever you are, and sorry about the rambling, but I'm actually a little bit taken aback by this decision. I'm not joking at all. This is what I've read from the Bangkok Post. You can go there, bangkokpost.com and thaipbsworld.com. I'll be finding all the best sources I can before tomorrow's program, and we'll go through it in greater detail. But quite astonishing announcement there. And I think probably a poor decision by the Thai government It's going to have a lot of ramifications, and I think probably set tourism back a few more months again, just as things were starting to recover. So a real mess. And for those people that have just joined us, the COVID-19 vaccination, proof of vaccination of at least 2 doses will be required. And that's going to be introduced sometime between probably January the 8th and January the 12th, when they're expecting the first flights back into Thailand airports, including Suvarnabhumi, Chiang Mai and Phuket. And I think the first flight's coming in from January the 12th. So there we go. I'm very sorry to be the bearer of that news, because I think it's quite a poor decision, and I think there's going to be a lot said. And look, the Thai Prime Minister might just roll in and say, we're not going to do this. This is just crazy. But nothing would surprise me. This surprised me, but there's a lot more water to go under the bridge, I think, on this. So, sorry. Excuse me. It's just water. I'm sorry I don't have a mic on. I'm using the mic on the iPhone. I've got a light in the ceiling, but I've done my best to bring you up to date with that rather dramatic news. And I said I'd break in and tell you what was happening, but I'll be in tomorrow morning with TNT. So have a good night wherever you are. Try and digest that, and let's have a chat about it tomorrow on TNT. Thanks for watching.